Hello there. While Nicola Sturgeon blindly pushes ahead with her only priority, the people of Scotland have moved on. As per usual, please like, subscribe and comment below. And when subscribing, please do press that little bell, but also select the all option, or you won't get any notifications when I publish a new video. It now looks like Nicola Sturgeon and her SNP generals are busy in a bunker somewhere, pushing imaginary referendum numbers around on a map of Scotland. Because while she's rabbiting on about independence, the people of Scotland have pushed her one and only agenda item down their list of priorities. The latest poll from Survation for the pro-UK campaign group Scotland in Union shows that only 12% of Scots think independence should be amongst the most important issues for their government. That's fewer than 1 in 8 people. The Survation poll found that the NHS is by far the most important issue for voters, followed by COVID recovery, economy and jobs, education and the climate emergency, says Scotland in Union. In fact, the poll shows that only 26% of people who voted for the SNP in the May Holyrood elections said that independence should be a priority. And on the key question of whether they would vote either in or out of the United Kingdom, when taking out the undecideds, 57% said they would vote to stay in the UK and 43% said they would vote to leave. And all the while, Nicola Sturgeon is gearing up her team at Holyrood to prepare a big independence campaign for a referendum before the end of 2023. And presumably this will answer all those eternal questions about what currency an independent Scotland would use, how their pensions will be paid, how they will handle their share of the UK debt, how long would it take to join the EU, in fact, could they ever join the EU, how they will replace their single largest trading market, the one with the rest of the UK. What would a hard border between Scotland and England look like? The list goes on. But time for Nicola is growing short. More and more people are waking up to the damage that she and her cronies are doing to Scotland. And as a result, more and more people's priorities are moving away from independence to more domestic worries about things like the NHS recovering from the pandemic, the economy, jobs, education, and they even put the climate emergency above independence. Then there's the drug deaths and all those examples of SNP inadequacy, like the rusting ferries and the steelworks saga and education. And I still haven't heard anything about the free bicycles and laptops. And the survey also shows that 41% of people think that dropping proposals for a referendum will make Scotland a more united society. Pamela Nash, the Chief Executive of Scotland in Union, said, "This confirms that the new SNP and Green coalition has the wrong priorities. People in Scotland are clear that their government should focus on what really matters: the NHS, COVID recovery, jobs and the climate emergency, not an old constitutional debate that divides the country. Nicola Sturgeon's priorities are so skewed she's not even listening to her own voters. It's time she focused on the job in hand as we recover from the devastating pandemic and face up to the climate disaster. As part of the UK, we can build a recovery that leaves nobody behind and work together to tackle the climate crisis." And this comes right on the eve of the SNP National Conference. And guess what's at the top of that agenda? According to the SNP website, the 3 big policy themes of this conference will be independence, the 2022 council elections and climate change. The pandemic has obviously ended in Scotland, and they've also rebounded economically, one takes it. No worries about drug deaths or education either, it appears, despite the SNP's dismal record on both. Oh, and I wonder if there'll be a statement on the 600 grand that's gone walkabout somewhere in the SNP accounts. As I said, time is running short for Nicola. The further in time we get from Brexit, the harder it will be for her to convince the people of Scotland to leap away from the UK. In fact, she may already be on borrowed time. Anyway, I hear things are kicking off in Northern Ireland. But before I get to that, I just want to say a massive thank you to all my Super Thanks, Patreon and PayPal supporters, as well as those that do buy a mug with my mug on it. Links in the descriptions box below. You really do help me keep this channel going. So the DUP is getting mightily hacked off with the Northern Ireland Protocol and is threatening to walk out of the Stormont Assembly, so bringing down the power sharing agreement. A welcome, firm stance as far as I'm concerned. And all this is because of the Northern Ireland Protocol, which for some mystifying reason is still in place, carving up the United Kingdom and doing untold damage to the economy of Northern Ireland. How much more must they endure? So the DUP has said it will stop cooperating with the Republic of Ireland government immediately, and has given notice to the UK government and to the EU Commission that they have just weeks to renegotiate the Northern Ireland Protocol. And this comes on the back of the recent and very strong letter sent by Lord David Trimble to the US President Joe Biden. As far as the DUP is now concerned, the protocol must go, as it cannot work, even if it's watered down. They want to see the protocol red tape removed and ECJ jurisdiction removed as well. Brussels will not like that. Talking to the press, the DUP leader Sir Geoffrey Donaldson said, "If the choice is ultimately between remaining in office or implementing the protocol in its present form, then the only option for any unionist minister would be to cease to hold such office. As I have said, we are totally opposed to the protocol as it presently exists. We will neither accept it nor will we work it. In my assessment, the time frame for resolving issues can be measured in weeks and not months or years. Urgent action is needed," he said. Now, the very fact that the loyalist side of the Good Friday Agreement is getting more and more agitated should have anyone who truly believes in the peace process very worried. But we all know that both the EU and the Republic of Ireland are content to keep needling and pushing this, to try and either get a united Ireland in short order, which is highly unlikely, or to force the UK government to capitulate to ECJ jurisdiction across the UK, and that is a big no-no. And remember that the EU has only one thing in its mind: the protection and expansion of its own single market. It cares not for anything else. It will attempt to trash anything in its path. And they even managed to rope a weak Theresa May into agreeing to police their single market for them by putting a barrier down the Irish Sea between Northern Ireland and Great Britain, when the proper place for what could be an unmanned and technology-driven border is right where it should be, at the international border between the UK and the EU, and the sooner the protocol is dropped and proper order imposed, the better for everyone, even for Brussels. So what's your opinion on Nicola Sturgeon still harping on about independence and the DUP bringing down the Stormont Assembly? Please like and comment below.